It wants to. There we go. I think we're live. Yay! Hello, 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 everybody. I hope everything is working nicely and well and all that kind of stuff. I hope we are all doing quite well. And we have had some fairly significant news surrounding Julian Brandt. Now, before I get into all of that, I've got to do the thing. I'm sorry, I have to do the thing because if I don't do the thing, then nobody does the things. So, if you haven't yet, I'd hugely appreciate you popping a like on the stream. It's an easy button to press. It's down here somewhere. Hold on, let's have a quick look at specifically where it is just to make sure I'm getting that much right. Because I get that wrong sometimes. No, it's not. It's over here somewhere. So pop a like on the stream, that'd be lovely. And subscribe. It's one button that you just have to press once, and it's completely free to press, and it makes me feel good. So if you could do that, that'd be very, very nice. Hello there, Hannah Bone. Hello there, Rob Dar. And yeah, if we could do that, that'd be genuinely fantastic. In the same way that if we can get Julian Brandt done, it would be similarly fantastic because we have some very significant news surrounding Julian Brandt. Very, very, very nice stuff. So, first of all, this was a little bit of news that I will have to be honest, following the conversation I had with Joe the other day that everyone was privy to because we did it on a stream, I got a little bit of information surrounding Julian Brandt that sort of caught my attention. And that was the fact that Julian Brandt had in fact been seen in, well, not Julian Brandt, specifically his dad, Jurgen Brandt, who is also his agent, which is why I've been referring to him as his agent, but you know who I mean. Jurgen Julian Brandt is his name now, was spotted inside Thorp Arch. I decided to not go with it at the time because I was like, okay, that's just one source, and again, we've had the Shay Charles thing, so I'm going to be a little bit careful, but it has been reported today that Julian Brandt, his father, has been I keep doing this because it's J-U, and right, if this is a thing that is already bugging me. If you have a child and you make their name start with the same letters as your name, I don't like you. That's not true. But you know what I mean. Anyway, Jurgen Brandt was spotted at Thorp Arch a little bit earlier in the week to talk things over with Leeds United. According to Graham Smith, that makes us in the conversation, which is pretty obviously the case. Like, the fact of the matter is, we were discussed as one of the clubs that had a little bit of an interest, and that hasn't really gone away since. There's been no point in which the club have been asked the question, and then all of the reporters around Leeds United go, well, that's not happening. And that tends to be what happens if something isn't going on. But there is very clearly at least a conversation with Julian Brandt going on. He then goes on to say, Brandt Sr. was also pictured at Real Betis earlier this summer, although the La Liga side didn't pursue a deal. Which very clearly means that we are a part of the conversation still. The conversation around what Julian Brandt's future will look like, which is fantastic. The fact that we are in the discussion in the first place is incredibly positive. And beyond that, Baron Cross also had a little bit of a word about it. He said, Leeds United still pursuing Julian Brandt. You see, that time, I don't need to say Jurgen Brandt, which is fantastic. It's understood his father was at Thorp Arch yesterday for a meeting at the training ground, which is, again, genuinely wonderful. Very good that we're actually getting his agent in the ground. All part of the wider process, the club says, and he's not necessarily nailed on for Elland Road as it stands. However, Baron then goes on to say, I know some folks don't like having expectations managed on stuff like this. I get it too, but you have to say it's better that he's having meetings with the club than not. And that is something that I would quite like the chat to pay attention to. The fact of the matter is, the conversations are happening. And the fact that those conversations are happening means that there is a chance of the deal getting done. And as Baron puts it, you'd rather the conversations happen than the conversations not happen and us just not bother. Because Julian Brandt is a very, very, very good talent. And beyond that, Julian Brandt very clearly has at least a bit of an interest in coming to Leeds United, because you don't stump up the cash to fly over to Leeds, to head out to Thorp Arch, to head back to the airport, to go back out to Germany again, if you've got no interest in going to a club. If he didn't want to go to Leeds United, he would have just said, okay, no, I don't think I want to have this conversation. That's fine. Dad, stay at home on the sofa, watch Countdown, which I say that as like a little bit of a sort of like, ha ha ha, if you're someone's dad, you watch Countdown. I became a dad and now I watch a lot of Countdown. So, that's fun. But then he also goes on to say in a reply to someone else's tweet, I'd certainly prefer him to be there for meetings than not be there for meetings, which is also very true. The fact that we're at least in the discussion and having those conversations with Julian Brandt means that Julian Brandt has a significantly higher chance of coming to the club. But I'll have a little bit of a skim through what's been chatted. Come on, words. What's been nattered about in the comments, so let's have a go. Hannah Bone says, I know how the 49ers go about business and I'm pleased in many ways they're stealthy, but I'm annoyed with the way they seem to treat the local-ish media. I don't think it's an issue with the way that they're treating the local media. I think they treat all of the sort of media organisations in the same kind of way. I think it's a case of they keep information from absolutely everyone, and when information comes out, it tends to be from external sources. So the deal with Muharemovic, for example, was 99% likely that that information came out of Sassuolo, as opposed to that information coming out of Leeds United, which I can't hugely blame the club for. The fact of the matter is, Leeds followed their strategy of release information but do it on a delay so no one is potentially ruining moves. The fact of the matter is, Sassuolo didn't follow that guidance, which meant that everything went a little bit funny, which isn't fantastic. Where are we? John Buck asks if he's maybe been chatting to Stack. I think that'll make a hell of a lot of sense, but if he's not, then that's okay, to be honest. But I feel like he probably has been, because having someone from the same place as you in a squad is genuinely beneficial a hell of a lot of the time. Yes, Simon Barr, possible good news. We had the 6th oldest squad last season at 27 with Wilson and assuming Julian Brandt. Should we be worried about an ageing squad that relies heavily on output/distance covered? I don't think it's necessarily a worry, because in addition to getting in the ageing players, you need to also notice that we have got Muharemovic in, who is 23. We're working on Shea Charles, who is 22 or 23. He's also in that sort of territory, which means that what we're doing is we're improving the level of the squad in the higher age brackets, but we're also making sure that we've got a decent amount of quality in the lower age brackets, which is fairly solid, to be honest. I don't mind that too much, but people are going to feel different things. Yeah, he caught one. Brent's agent is clearly shopping around. He is, but the fact he chose to shop here as opposed to shopping elsewhere, and a lot of people will typically kind of go, well, that's not good because X, Y, or Z reason. But it's fine. I'm going to skip a few comments because I am struggling to keep up, because you are a chatty bunch today. However, being a chatty bunch is very, very good and helpful. Thank you very much, because it means that the algorithm sort of pushes things a bit. That is why, and this is a little bit of an insight into the way that I do streaming, a lot of the time when I want to ask you guys a question, I go pop a 1 or a 2 or a 3 in the chat, because that way it speeds the chat up a bit and YouTube goes, oh, people are engaging. So that's a that's a little insight into how the sausage is made behind the scenes. But enough of my sausage. What are we all feeling? I'm going to do the thing. You guys, I can't say that this is the thing that I do and then not do the thing. If you think this is a deal that we get done, pop a 1 in the chat. If you think it's not, pop a 0 in the chat. There we go. And it's easier than me typing out a poll, to be honest. It's much easier to sort of say things than to type things, and typing things makes things a bit tricky. Old 15-1 was superior to counting down. How dare you? Hold on. I'm tempted to completely delay all of the stream. Out of pure sort of spite. Just to... There we go. Right, okay. Anyway, where were we? They're talking to the Daily Mail. Yeah, but that's more... They've got one outlet, and I feel like if you pick one local outlet, then you're causing problems for yourselves by looking like you pick favourites. Please never talk about your sausage again. No, we're talking about how we make the sausage. You can't make a sausage without eating it, or you can't eat a sausage without making it. And you can't make it without knowing how to make it. So there, that'll do. We'll never lend Trafford in a million years. We need the money elsewhere. I think we might, to be fair. When do you think the centre-back will be announced? I believe he's going through the final stages of his medical today. Which is what Danny Rumsey has just linked me in, but I saw this earlier on today anyway. Thank you, though. but he's going through the final stages of his medical today, so there's a chance that it's announced later, or if the medical takes a little bit of time, it could take a little while, but it'll be today, tomorrow, the day after kind of vibes. Ideally, the end of today, because I don't see us doing it on a weekend, especially if it clashes with the third place playoff or the final. So I feel like if it's not today, it might be Monday. But that's just me with what I would do, and I wouldn't necessarily do exactly the same as what the club do. However, because Hannah Bone was sassy about Countdown, we're going to do a numbers game. I'm Rachel Riley now, as you can tell. Here we go. Here's what my body actually looks like. So, that's fun. What are we thinking? One large, all small? Or are we thinking... We'll go one large, rest small. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. 190. Right. Got it. No, I've not. Shit. Yes, I have. 6 add 4 is 10. Multiply that by the 2 is 20. Add that to the 75 for 95. Multiply that by that to 190. There we go. And that was our quick game of Countdown. I hope we all enjoyed the Countdown segment, and we'll be doing one of those every single stream until Hannah states that Countdown is better than 15 to 1. Hi Joe, great news. Who/where was the sighting of Brandt Senior? So I don't know who sighted him, but it's being reported by absolutely everybody that it has been sighted, and it was at Thorp Arch. So when it comes to questions, never. Right, okay, daily countdown segments it is. When it comes down to like if it's a reliable source, the fact it's coming out of Graham and Berren, and basically everybody says that it is, and the fact it was at Thorp Arch means that it's clearly club business, because if he was like seen outside the train station or something, there's maybe an argument that it's a coincidence. That's fine. Like, I could kind of understand that one. However, the fact that he was at Thorp Arch, he's not going to be there to scout some under 21s. Like, come on. It'll be a case of he's done that because he wants to have a look potentially coming to Leeds United, and that would be genuinely fantastic if we're able to sign him. I think Julian Brandt would be the sort of statement signing that is the same level as Granit Xhaka was last season for Sunderland. He'd be a player that a lot of Premier League signs look at Leeds and go, all right, that's a little bit of a serious one, and go, fantastic, lovely, all good. Apparently Nigel Farage hasn't officially registered for his by-election yet, which is hilarious to me. Imagine if he's like, no, actually, I'm one of the other parties and I refuse to stand, and we end up with Binface in Parliament. Fantastic stuff. Speaking of sightings, has Farker been seen at Thorp Arch? I don't know. I would assume so, considering he works there. It'd be very weird if he wasn't, but yeah, he will have been. I've not seen him on any of the... Have I seen him on any of the training videos? Let's have a look. Quick Google of Leeds United. Ideally, it's an official one, dude. There we go. First day back, pre-season testing. Let's have a skim. All right, pop it over here. Pause it. Head over to monitor 2. Right. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Was that dentistry? Okay. No Farker, 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 no Farker. Metcha, no Farker. Piru, Bogle, no Farker, no Farker. Bogle, no Farker, no Farker, no Farker. DCL, no Farker. I'm guessing we're looking in pink. Hold on, I'm going to see what the dog is screaming at, so I'll be 1 second. He's trapped now. There we go. He's not in the video, I've watched it. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But he will still be around. Like, the fact that we've not seen him on a training video is fine. At the end of the day, they've only really done medical assessment so far. I don't hate it so much. I know that's Leeds Beckett. It was just a question of if Daniel Farke was there, not Julian Brandt. But let's be honest, Julian Brandt isn't going to be at Leeds Beckett anyway, so... I sprinted down those stairs. Jesus. But I am feeling fairly confident on the Julian Brandt thing, because I think he would be a fantastic addition to the side. The fact that we're fairly late into the transfer window and his dad is actively coming to Leeds and taking a look at what is going on is another positive sign. Points us in the right direction. Very, very optimistic about absolutely everything, to be honest with you. Roden and Harry turning up together and Roden introducing was really cute. It seems it, yeah. No, Jack Harrison. Yeah, I imagine Jack Harrison will be leaving. I've seen some stuff around him going to New England for the next season at MLS, but we'll have to see. I don't know. In the vid, Willie looks like he's eating a bag of Haribo's hyper. Yeah, like Willie Non. I think a lot of people are of the opinion that we need to sell Willie Nonto and all this kind of stuff. I wouldn't mind him sticking around. I think he's got a lot of potential to him. But it's also been said that we've made a move for John Stones, but I've not really seen anything properly about that. I've seen a couple of people maybe discussing Trafford as well, but I don't really see that one either, to be honest with you. At least not in the immediate term. Like, the fact that so many people are saying so quickly that these very significant moves are all going to happen in the same sort of period, I don't see all of those happening at once, to be honest with you. Is Shay Charles' dad watching Countdown? Isn't that the big question? I think Shay Charles' dad seems like a 15-1 kind of guy in that I don't yet trust him. Yeah, that's the way I'm going to phrase that, actually. I've decided. Guard Dog, no, he's just 3/4 Dachshund, and if you look at his face, his stupid face, 1/4 Chihuahua. So he barks when door open, he barks when wife not here, because he prefer wife. And he just sort of loses his mind sometimes, but he's a very, very good boy. So in Dumb and Dumber terms, there's a chance we can get Brandt and Trafford. Yeah, there's definitely a chance. I think there's a very, very strong chance of Brandt, now that we know that we've actually had a meeting with his agent at our own training ground. Because what a few people seem to be thinking around that is Julian Brandt, fantastic. Where was I going with that? Sure, he's come to Thorp Arch, but it's only to discuss financial terms. That's not necessarily the case. If you're going to a training ground, odds are you're going to have a very, very, very big look around. You're going to check out as much stuff as you possibly can to get an idea of the environment in which you will be training. And the fact that it's not just a case of they've had a Zoom call, which is where you would initially discuss terms and if there's initial interest, is very nice, and it points in that direction of there is a move on the way. So I like it. It's good. It's fun. If Brandt signs, how do Leeds line up, formation, etc.? I think if Brandt signs, it gives us versatility more than anything else. Ooh. Thank you very much, All Boxed Up. Again, I don't have the notifications on sound at the moment, so I'll have to replay that in a moment. But thank you very much, All Boxed Up. I very much appreciate it.
Big up, Joe.
There we go. That's, what did we end up calling the Welsh guy? Was it Doug? I don't know. It was something. We called the Welsh text-to-speech man something, and I can't remember what his name was. So if anyone remembers, let me know. But yeah, if we get Brandt, I think it doesn't define a formation in which we will be playing. It gives us a lot of flexibility and motion and ability to sort of adjust things. So it's a case of we can just play what we did last season and go to the sort of 5-3-2 kind of thing and play Brandt as maybe one of like the 3 or something. Could go to the 5-4-1 and maybe he plays on one of the flanks. But also it gives us the chance to play with 4 at the back. It's an opportunity more than anything to go, we can play in many, 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 many different ways, as opposed to this is the one system that works, and if we change from it, everyone's going to lose their minds that we had last season. So that extra sort of flexibility is nice. Ooh.
Eyes emoji.
Thank you very much, the Leeds Lens. Yes, Brandt Eyes emoji indeed is looking increasingly likely. Yeah, I can't remember what we called the Welsh guy. But we just know that he goes, Brandt Eyes emoji, which is a fun little addition to the stream, I think. So every day we'll just have...
Brandt Eyes emoji.
There we go. We'll have to give him a name, but hello, Scott. Hope you're doing very, very well. If you're doing a stream or anything after this, just let me know and I'll redirect people. But I'm going to go till about past, I think, depending on how things are going. I don't know. We'll have to see. But the news is generally in a very, very positive direction. Wacko's been weird as well, because Wacko has a tendency to be quiet in the moments that you don't want it to be quiet, and then out of nowhere it'll just go, by the way, here's 7 or 8 bits of news. And that seems to have been what happened today, and the sources are maybe a little bit wobbly. So there was a situation in which someone was like, cool, we're going to be doing more than just our Bosnian friend, and like, brilliant, but that could mean anything. That could mean Brandt, that could mean Trafford, that could mean Charles. So there's so many different options of players that we can be signing, players that we should be signing, that it makes everything a little bit weird and complicated. And understanding what... I've got such an itchy nose, Arlo. Why do you have to molt in the summer? But deciding which of those sources is right and which can be trusted and all that kind of stuff is where the majority of the issues come in. So it's going to have to be a case of working it out and knowing what's going on with all of that. I do think, though, that we will make some very, very, very nice signings, which is stunning. I don't see any reason that we won't be able to sign Brandt, other than if, as has been mentioned by a couple of people, Atletico Madrid have a bit of a sniff around. But we've not really heard that mentioned for a while, which again points us in a good direction. I'm not going to complain about that in the slightest. I don't know how I feel on the Trafford one, though. The Trafford one's complicated. Well, I know how I feel on it. No stream till 8, looking good with Brandt. I think the Tarek deal makes more sense when you're getting Brandt potentially for free. Yeah, it does. I think it shifts the availability of fees, and I think fees were potentially one of the big question marks to begin with. But you know what? We're heading in the right direction right now. The fees opening up means that we're able to reallocate a bit of money, and I've always been of the opinion that when it comes to getting signings done, the best possible way to do it is focus on wage bill as opposed to transfer fees, because it's been shown time and time again that sides that spend more on their wage budget do better than sides that spend more on their transfer fee. There is a very clear positive correlation going on. Will Trafford count as homegrown? Yes, because he has spent the majority of his youth at clubs in England. So he counts as a homegrown English player. For Leeds at the moment, it's not a case of homegrown at the club. That's just a case at UEFA level. And we're not in any UEFA competitions yet, so we don't really need to be concerned about that. Instead, we just have to say have a set number of players that are trained in English or I believe Welsh clubs, because they fall under one football association for the most part, and then that does a job. But I'm not 1,000% certain on all of that. I don't know. Yes, though, he does count as homegrown if we get it done. If we do, lovely. If we don't, I'm not going to be too worried. I feel like a lot of people are going to see in the event that we don't sign James Trafford, oh my god, he was a key target, etc., etc. It's a problem, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, we've got a lot of goalkeepers that we're looking at, and he's just one of many. So, not too spooky. Billy Sharp on a free, no-brainer. Yeah, do you mean that in the sense that you need to have no brain to get that deal done? Because in that case, spot on. 49ers doing the thing. Absolutely. This is why I'm very happy with where we're at the minute, because Muharemovic, we made a move to sign, got it done incredibly quickly. It was a case in which they saw value when we need this position urgently and acted fast. So, lovely. Fantastic. However, When it's a player that we don't need to be urgent with, like in the case of Brandt, we know there's various clubs sort of floating around, but there's also going to be other options for a number 10. We can take our time. We can have those conversations. We don't have to go, shit, sign him. We can just go, right, okay, we'll work it through and eventually we'll secure the player that we want, but without overspending, which is perfect, to be honest with you. Lucas Metch is homegrown, I think. Is he? I'll have a quick Google. Premier League squad registrations. 25-26. This will show me. God, there's so many clubs. Why are there so many clubs? Right, okay. Our homegrown players from last season were Ethan Ampadu, Jaden Bogle, Sam Byram, Alex Cairns, DCL, Carl Darlow was homegrown, Dan James was, James Justin was, Sean Longstaff was. Metcher was also homegrown. Joe Rodon and Pascal Stroud. So we might need another homegrown player or two, just to sort of show that up. No, because Wilson will be homegrown. I can check that, actually. Control F for Fulham. Wilson's homegrown as well. So that's fine enough for me, to be honest with you. We've lost 2 homegrown players in the form of Pascal Stroke and Carl Darlow, but we've got Harry Wilson in, and I think we'll continue to get as many players as we need on homegrown things, rather than overly panicking and signing players that we don't necessarily require. Like, I think that's why we kept Alex Cairns around, because he just sort of adds to the squad list without taking a place that's too much. Yes, we do need 8, and then you can faff around with the rest. We still need to sell 5 or 6 to get cash in. I don't think we do, to be honest with you. Like, cash isn't the issue with Leeds at the minute. It's more what shows on the revenue books at the end of the season. And we've still got that Premier League income. And yeah, we'll sell a couple more players, but I don't think it's we must sell all of these players. I think it's more of a case of, if we can find a move for Jack Harrison, fantastic, that gets his wages to piss off and we can use Brandt to sign those wages. Or if we can get Schmidt's gone, Voba to go, brilliant, fantastic. Voba going would be a miracle. I don't necessarily see that miracle coming, but it would absolutely change things, because being able to get Voba out when he's done functionally nothing for the last however long would be genuinely brilliant. With a new partnership today, more income. Yes, I don't know what that partnership is. I'm going to have a look. All I know is I saw Eddie Hearn and I was like, I can't be bothered watching this video. I don't like Eddie Hearn that much. And this is where we ended up. But I'm going to have a look. Leeds United. North Defence. I don't have a clue what that is. It's a military vehicle technology. What? Sorry, what? Why have a football club? Hang on. I've got so many questions. Right, so if we just go over to Monitor 2, right? North Defence official partner. Fine, whatever. North Defence is a high-quality military vehicle manufacturer specialising in the supply of light mobility vehicles. With roots in frontline service and rapid response engineering, the organisation combines real military experience with agile manufacturing and advanced technology to deliver vehicles built for modern defence needs. What the fuck? What? Why? They have a real understanding of operational challenges, which shapes everything they produce, whilst also creating the best work environment possible to drive success. Their foundations are rooted in integrity and a strong work ethic, aligning closely with Leeds United. What? Sorry? It's a genuine pleasure to partner with the club that I've supported and cheered on at Ellen Road since the mid-90s. Many of our team of tradespeople, engineers and office workers have been supporting Leeds through the highs and lows of the past 3 decades. It's so personal to many of us. Phil, you're sorry. Our partnerships director is called Phil Hardman. And he's just partnered with a military contractor. So stupid. Added, we're excited to welcome North Defence on board as an official partner for the upcoming season. Worked with them previously as a partner. It'd be great to continue strengthening our relationship with everyone at North Defence. We look forward to supporting them, etc., etc., etc. Hold on. I want to have a look at your website, North Defence. North Defence. And then we go F11. Right. What's going on here? Shut. Defence. 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 Okay. Right. Tech-driven military vehicle manufacturer, supply NATO member states with tailor-made vehicles. Okay, fine. Global reach, local impact. Ooh. Real-world experience, X-Tech. LMV Gen 2. That just looks like a Toyota Hilux. Am I insane, or is that just a Toyota Hilux? They'll be riding tanks when they do promo videos. That'd be lovely. Built for today. Military X-Tech. Okay. I'm not really seeing the link with Leeds United. I'm not convinced. I can see Red Bull. I understand you're an energy drink, right? I can even see construction companies. We're doing a big construction right now. However, I'm not sure about light military vehicles made in Luxembourg. Or made... Okay, Elland factory, that's fine. But these are all just Ford pickup trucks. Not to be mean, but it's Ford pickup trucks with a thing on it. Could I get a job there? Are you hiring? Built for today. No, this is the same website. Oh, there we go. So, if you are an auto electrician, a coach builder, or a vehicle technician in West Yorkshire or Steinsel, Luxembourg, don't hesitate. Apply to North Defence now. And you might get to have a go in the box that I'm assuming they have access to right now. So that was a weird segment that I wasn't hugely expecting to happen. The truck has 2 antennas. That's what makes the difference. I expect they do conversions from a base Hilux. Yeah, that's my guess, to be honest with you. It sounds like a communications breakdown stemming from someone saying we need to do more with our defence and getting translated into American. We need to do more with our defence. Cool. And we just put, like, self-propelled anti-air guns on the goal line. Long ball coming in. Bang, 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 bang. Flat cannons over the east end. Oh, that'd be wonderful. Blue and yellow Ukraine flags, the connection. I mean, blue and yellow does make sense, yeah. I stand corrected and a thing on it. Yeah, there's things on it as well. Come on. Let's give them some credit. Anyway. Yeah, that one's... Hang on. I've found a sentence I don't like. What are you doing here, slavery and human trafficking? If this isn't we don't do it, then... Okay, there is no modern slavery or human trafficking in our supply chains or any part of our business, and we operate a zero tolerance policy. Lovely. That's good. They don't do slavery and human trafficking. Why are you talking about this? Because it's a company that Leeds have partnered with, and I was coming to the end of a stream. And look, I'll be honest, Land of North. If you thought that was weird, we did also play a round of Countdown earlier. So this does happen sometimes we get a little bit lost. That's when we play Arsenal next season. Just shooting Ben White out of the air when he comes for a corner. That seems like the way that we should approach things now. Not the technical ability we need. Very nice, well played. Maybe Muharamovic is part of our new North defence. No, but Bosnia's a bit south of us. So he's more of us. He's our southern border. No, but I'm not going to make a joke because I feel like that might get overly political. 2 Toyota Hiluxes as goalkeepers. Absolutely, yeah. And park them sideways as well, just to be safe. Anyway, that stream went in a little bit of a weird direction, but to sum things up. 1. Julian Brandt's dad, Jurgen Brandt, was at Leeds United discussing a potential move, which is very, very positive and points to the fact that we could eventually make that signing. 2. Thank you very much for being here. It's much appreciated as always. And I would massively appreciate as well if you could press the subscribe button that's down here. It's just one little boop. Wonderful. Easy. Hold on. Leeds United capacity by stand. Elland Road capacity by stand, sorry. It better tell me, because otherwise I'm going to lose my nut. Okay, the thing I was going to say doesn't work, but the North Stand at the moment has approximately 7,000 people that can fit in it. I've got approximately 7,000 subscribers. So, if you press the subscribe button right now, you can make it so everyone that's subscribed to my channel would fit in the North Stand of Elland Road. That'd be lovely. Thank you very much. I would very much appreciate it. That's a weird thought, isn't it? Brandt for Leeds makes me happy by hello, Sean. It's been a while. And you've timed that, so I'm about to end. So, if you enjoyed, pop a like on the stream, subscribe, that would be lovely. Even be a channel member, you get videos and stuff early. I've already planned out what tomorrow's is, unless a news story comes out. The Cop, indeed, the Cop. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Hope you enjoyed. And I will see you guys later. Toodaloo. And next time, remind me, we have to do countdown again, and it's all Hannah's fault. Sorry about that. Toodaloo.